Beer me blazer.
And I didn't know if I was drunk or I was dreaming, but then I saw that D-Hop was traded. I cannot believe this.
You had to have gone out drinking with Dave O'Brien, who's the GM slash coach, right?
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien, is that his name?
Bill
Whatever.
O'Brien.
Well, he should get fired, dude. Whatever his name is, it's terrible. I mean, so they basically got a second round pick, right? Because they swapped fourths.
Yeah,
Right?
it was David Johnson, a second round pick, and a fourth round pick for D-Hop and a fourth round pick.
Yeah, that's. I mean, someone said they were trying to shop him. I was seeing, but I mean, you're telling me you couldn't. I feel like that was like the first offer they got, and they just like took it. And then we'll get to obviously the Diggs thing, but I mean, with him, he's the man. I mean, he's like a top 2 receiver. So I mean, I don't get why you couldn't at least try to get a 1, especially from the Cardinals who have multiple firsts, right? Don't they have? Or am I tripping?
I'm not sure.
They could have done a little bit better than what they got. I mean,
A lot of bit better.
A lot. Even throw Patrick Peters. I mean, they were trying to get rid of Patrick Peters, and I don't know, try and throw him in there, get more picks. The Texans, I mean, they need a lot of help on defense and on the offensive line, so they could have gotten more picks for him. But the trade stuff doesn't make sense.
Did you guys hear that thing where he was like he was disagreeing with Bill O'Brien, so that was part of the reason they traded him?
D-Hop was?
Yeah. Oh, you heard it too, Corona?
What? Oh, the audience member says he heard it.
The audience member heard it. Yeah, so that was part of the reason for the trade, is there was some kind of like feud with it, or something going on with Bill O'Brien and D-Hop, which is weird because I feel like D-Hop's like almost like Amari Cooper. He never says anything.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
They're both like the silent type shoulder coach.
The Kawhi Leonard. I saw someone with the Kawhi Leonard of.
DeAndre Hopkins, that's crazy.
Yeah,
The crowd is speaking again.
they they make bad trades all the time though. They traded Tunzel for a first.
Whoa, that was a great trade for
We
Dolphin
got 2
players.
first round draft picks actually for that.
There
Yeah.
you go. So terrible trade for them. So whoever's
Gave
doing
up
it,
Tunsil and Kenny Stills.
I just look at it as like
from
from the football.
yeah,
From
disgusting.
a football perspective, if you have like one of the young like better quarterbacks in the league, and he has like one of the best weapons you can kind of ask for, and you're gonna go out and get rid of like one of his best weapons. It's like when you have Will Fuller who can't stay healthy, Kiki Cutie who as well can't stay healthy, and it's like Kenny Stills is there, but it's like you're gonna trade away your Deshaun Watson is your offense, your team in a sense on that thing, and you get rid of D-Hop as number 1 weapon with chemistry and all that. I don't know. From a football perspective, it was like kind of baffling.
Yeah.
And like you said, not even for like another first round pick or something like that. So maybe they can go out and try and get someone like Judy or one of these other receivers.
Yeah.
It's like they got was second, right?
Second.
So it's just like I don't know. From a football perspective, it's baffling. Like I said, it's kind of makes sense that maybe there was something with the coach for them to just give it away for a second and David Johnson. So yeah, I was kind of shocked when I saw this.
Yeah. So D-Hop, I mean, he's pretty much a consensus first round pick in every draft. Would you still keep him as a first round draft pick? Do you think he still falls in that 10 to 12 range, depending on your league, if you're a 10-man or 12-man league? Do you think he stays a first round draft pick now with the Cardinals, or do you think he falls to the second round? Because I personally feel like this kind of hurts his value a little bit to where maybe I'm not drafting him in the first round. Maybe I'm just waiting to see if he falls to that second round. I'm curious when the ADPs come out after the draft and all that, where he will be. Maybe he'll be in that back. Maybe he'll probably be more on the turn end is what I'm saying.
I mean,
He's
10,
probably
10, I would still take him at like 10, 11. I mean, they're going to pass up. The Cardinals are going to pass the ball a lot. Like they do, they run that air raid. And I mean, you would say they run more wide receivers, so there's less targets, but I think his numbers might still, I mean, I think he'll score more touchdowns. The Cardinals are just going to be passing the ball. They're going to be playing from behind more. I mean, I would still take him like that 10, 11, 12. But like you said, the turn isn't too far off anyway. But I don't think you're crazy if you take him in the first, still like the back first. I don't think someone's going to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think it's
early
justified.
on. I'm probably not taking him in the back of the first. This is early on. I'm trying to look up some numbers. If you want to go ahead fast, Tyler, while
I mean, for me, it's just, okay, like, you still have Larry Legend there, which he's going to get his targets. I mean, Christian Kirk, who, he was kind of a target machine last year as well. I mean, and, obviously, them shipping David Johnson off, it sounds like they're going to re-sign Drake. They actually, what's that? They put not transition tag on him, yeah. So it looks like they're going to keep Drake there. But, I mean, even then, I was looking at Drake's numbers. He was getting a handful of targets a game, too.
Sorry.
So... it just kind of makes me worry about, like, is there enough to go around in a sense, you know. And I mean, I think the Cardinals are going to be a better team than they were last year. Maybe they don't have to throw the ball as much. Maybe they're more competitive in games. So it's just kind of, I mean, I'm not sure, you know, when D-Hop is kind of just force feeding, you know, I mean, Deshaun Watson was just force feeding, D-Hop. You know, that's kind of what gave him his value. So I'm not sure if Kyler Murray's going to force feed him, kind of like he was getting in Houston. So I'm a little worried about that.
I think off Cabeza, he was his target share was like 30-something% pretty much every year there with Deshaun Watson. So it was like, I just don't see that high target share repeating of like that 30%. I mean, even if he's at like 25, which is high, you're looking at like a 5 to 7% target share drop off. You know, then you have to, like you said, there is going to be 4 wide receiver sets, 3 wide receiver sets, and I don't think that. You know, he's been like 160, 170 target guy. I think he might be more closer to the 140. And those, you know, those top 5 receivers that are going in the first round are all getting usually above 150. So, you know, Kyler Murray could have some growth too. So that's something you got to factor in there as well. But for me right now, he's probably outside of my first round. He's probably more in like that second round area, like you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right there.
BRB Blazer.